Welcome to the channel. Met Cancer, metabolic, not genetic. I'm your host, Vince Gledhill. After watching my last video, you will understand that I'm unable to monetize the channel, so any support that you could do would be much appreciated. Please see metcancer.com and click support on the menu for ways that you can support the channel. Now, in today's episode, Professor Thomas Seyfried explains metastasis and how it happens. 10 years. Yes, you heard that right. 10 years in the lab studying it. I give you Professor Thomas Seyfried.
That's another thing, metastasis, which is the singular most complicating factor of cancer. Because if all tumors grew in place, we would just cut your arm off or cut whatever, and it's gone. But it spreads. So how does it spread? What's going on with the spread? So what we discovered was an interesting kind of cancer in the mouse. It came out of the brain spontaneously, but when we put it in the flank, it spread like wildfire throughout the whole body of the mouse. And then it took us 10 years of vigorous, constant research. What kind of a cell? What is that cell? What kind of a cell is this thing that spreads all over the body? Because this is what is responsible for the majority of cancer deaths. So we found out that it was a biological, it was a macrophage, a microglial cell, which is derived from macrophages in the brain. It's a localized thing. So a macrophage, huh? Wow, macrophages are the only cell that can move in and out of our tissues. So we have resident macrophages in all of our cells. They're residents, they're like a police department. And then we have white blood cells circulating through our bloodstream, and that's like the army. So when you have a stab wound, white blood cells come out of the blood and they transform into these macrophages, and they're there to kill bacteria, clean up the wound. They're very fusogenic. They fuse together to work and heal the wound. In the cancer, what we have is that there's an inflammatory group of cells, like chronic inflammation, hypoxia, whatever, causing what looks like a wound to the body. So the body sends in the immune system. If the local guys can't handle it, the immune system, and they throw out growth factors and cytokines to heal the wound. And what that does to a cancer cell, like a stem cell, that doesn't have the capacity, it just grows in place. It makes them grow more. So these immune cells they fuse together with these other kinds of destabilized cancer cells that have mitochondrial abnormality, and they're growing but they can't spread. They're not. But this cell has the genetic apparatus to already move in and out of tissue. So when that cell fuses with this other cell, now you get destabilized mitochondria in a cell that's programmed so it becomes a rogue macrophage moving in and out of the cells. Wow, this is like unbelievable. So how do I know this? Why would I tell you this if I didn't know what I was talking about? So we went through every major cancer that we know of and examined genetic readouts of macrophage products. Every major human cancer has all of these characteristics of macrophages. So they all started from this procedure. The late John Powlick at Yale University was screaming at the top of his lungs, this is a fusion hybridization between macrophages and cancer stem cells, producing this metastatic cell that can now readily spread throughout the body. So after we made this discovery that nobody believes because they're locked into this mindless genetic thinking. So first thing you say, what do macrophages eat? What's their fuel? What do? They'll eat anything, but they gobble up stuff and they bring it to their lysosome, and then they can get energy from what they do. But one of their prime fuels is glutamine. Macrophages in the immune system are driven by glutamine. Aha! 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 So then we found they're fermenting the damn glutamine. So now we know how to kill metastatic cancer cells. You take away the glucose and the glutamine, and we've shown this. So everything comes back to knowing the biology of the problem and what cells are eating, what they eat and what their biology is, and how do you put all that together. And you can come up with a clear idea of what cancer is and how to manage it.
To subscribe to the channel, please click here. And if you haven't watched it already, this is a great presentation by the Professor.